we let it calibrate. It's been a while. It's been a while. Konnichiwa minasan, and welcome to Oshita Karate, where we look deeper into Isshin-ryu Karate. Now, before we get started in today's technique, I'd like to remind you, if you would like to learn more Isshin-ryu Karate from me, please go to udemy.com and you can type in my name, John Oshita, or even type in Isshin-ryu Karate and you'll find my karate series and lessons there. Or you could go to your closest, nearest Isshin-ryu Karate dojo in your town and check them out and give them a shot. All right, the technique we're going to look at today is at the very end of Seisan kata, which is the very first form or kata that we have in this karate style. Now, your sensei may show you a different bunkai or explanation on how to use this movement, or your technique, the way you do it, might look slightly different than the way I'm going to show you. But that's okay. You still can learn and apply, and by doing just subtle adjustments in your technique, you can still apply what you're learning here today. So to help us demonstrate this technique, I have my partner, Mr. Dwayne, with us. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
And if you'll show us the technique. And right in here, this last technique. Sir, if you could show that again from this side. We're not going to look at the whole set of movements that he's doing, but just the part right in here. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Now, what's going on? Well, first off, you're going to step back into nekodachi. Nekodachi is our cat stance. And we stick our hip out, all right? We stick our hip out to strike with it, right? And we stick our hip out to have a platform to throw our opponent over, all right? So many times when we're doing a hip throw, we need to stick our hip out. And when you do the cat stance or the nekodachi, you want most of your weight on the back leg and light weight in the front, all right? And this has a purpose for maybe kicking, and it has to work with throws. But that is the idea of how to do the particular stance. You want your back straight. All of these subtle nuances of the stance are very important in how to execute the movement. Now, what are the hands doing? Well, you see the hands and the arms go across the chest, and then they pull back to the belt. And I'll get a little closer into the camera, and you can see how the wrists are flexed. And they're pulled back to here. Then both hands cross and drop down in front as the heel also drops, which allows all of our weight to fall evenly down to the floor. And if you notice, just the right arm is palming downwards, and just the left arm is palming downwards, both at an angle. So here's the movement at the same, at a slower speed with all the components. And then we end the kata. Now let's get to the fun part, how we use this movement. All right, sir. First off, we're going to have our opponent behind us, not in front. Remember, you may have been taught or will be taught many different ways of using Isshin-ryu Karate technique. So I'm showing you one way. Your sensei will show you another way and another way. So understand that just take this information, enjoy it, use it, don't use it. But here we go. So the hip is going to come out first. We're going to strike first to our opponent low on their hip. Now they're behind us for whatever reason. I don't know, but I don't like it. And we're going to strike hard with that hip. Then the technique says that we're going to put our arm across and pull out. And notice that when I flex my arm, my wrist I mean, and I pull my arm back, notice what happens with the elbow. It fires behind me. And if my opponent is behind me, that's exactly what we're going to strike with. So we're going to strike the sternum now with the right elbow. And we're going to drive all the way through. All right? Now, I'm going to use just one arm. We're going to put the left arm behind us and not use it. Okay, now I use the one arm, my right arm, to throw my partner over that hip. We stuck with the hip, we struck with the elbow, went around and underneath his arm, and I trapped his, so if we'll go around this way to the back, I trapped his arm with my neck, stuck my hip underneath, and threw him over with one arm. But what is the left hand doing? Well, let's see. We know that we're tossing our opponent over with the right arm. We just saw that. But the left arm is coming down also. It must too have a job, Mr. Dwayne. Well, let's show the folks what that job is. Now, sir, you're going to look too cool in these. All right? Awesome. Weekend at Bernard's.
Nice.
I can't say Bernie's because of copyright issues.
Right,
so
sure.
we got Weekend at Bernard's over here.
Bernard's. All right.
All right, I love it. So what is that left hand going to do? Let's look at it. Strike with the hip, strike with the elbow. We're going to drive all the way through, get underneath his arm, trap our hip underneath our opponent so that we can throw him over our hip. But watch what this left hand is going to do. Now, in order for me to take these sunglasses off and put them into my left hand, must have meant my left hand was in the area of your eyes.
My eyeballs.
So instead of poking Mr. Dwayne in the eyes class, I had him wear the sunglasses and allow me to show you the technique of how it is true. The left hand does drop down toward the eyes, or how else would I have gotten those glasses off your face? So what we're doing here that is unique is that we're doing a karate throw, yet what is different is we're striking the eyes mid-throw. We are attacking the opponent's eyes before they hit the ground. So we have a lot of things going on here. So if you'll put the shades back on, we have a strike with the hip, strike into the sternum with the elbow, come around, and we're going to strike with the floor as he hits the floor. And before that, we're going to strike the eyes with the left nukite, the left spear hand. And here they are. Now, if I could show the folks, sir, in the air, now that they've seen how the movement works, you can visualize your partner, your opponent here. We strike. And I hope that you could visualize what just happened in that movement that we just did. Mr. Dwayne, earlier in the video, showed us here. And here's the movement of today's video. And then the kata ends. Sir, may I try them all?
Absolutely.
All right, let's try this. You want to do this from the same angle that we were at?
I would love to.
All right, let's do this, man.
Hey. That guy.
Weekend at Bernard's.
Oh.
Wow. Nice job. You see how he had those sunglasses in his left hands. And the only way that that could have happened was if the left fingers and hand was in the vicinity of my eyes. And I could tell as I was falling, I could see that hand coming towards me, and it was not it was a scary thing.
Right.
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Dwayne. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Sensei.
And I thank y'all so much. Hang in there. All my Udemy students that are online, to all my students that I teach live and online classes, and to all the students that I teach live in the dojo, and to all the Ishinru students around the country and around the world, thank you so much for your training and for your dedication. I hope this video inspires you to study more of your Seisan kata and to study the Bunkai of all the techniques within your kata. And have fun. Thank you so much. We'll see y'all in the next video. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.